All right, so the next step is, well, what do we do once we have them on board? Okay, so you've finally got your ideal candidate. You cast that wide net, and you did lots of recruiting and advertising to get that person in front of you. You interviewed lots of people. You weeded out the bad apples, the ones that don't have the right attitudes and the philosophy and culture that you do. And you brought them on, you sold the right people in the job so they're getting started. Okay, well, now what? That's not the end of the process, right? That's kind of the beginning. So now we've got to onboard them and train them correctly. All right, now a couple things. First of all, you need to recognize that it is only the first step in the process, and now you need to continue to develop them and build them for the future. And then the second part is that if they don't work out, it's your fault. Right? Now, we talked about the importance of them taking responsibility for their successes and failures earlier. Well, you can't expect them to do that if you're not going to do the same. All right, so you brought them on. That's only part of the battle. Now you have to train them correctly. And if they end up not working out, it's because you chose to hire the wrong person, or you did not develop them correctly. It's that simple. So take responsibility. Now that you onboarded them, your sole focus and responsibility is turning them into the right person. Right? The A player that has the skills and the attitude and cultural fit. Right? All right, so how do we do that? Well, a couple things. First of all, you need to be able to teach them what you do. Right? You need to be able to get them to be able to perform at least as good as you, if not better. And you need to recognize that there's a learning curve. It doesn't happen overnight. It takes time. It takes your time. All right? For now. Eventually, maybe somebody else, one of your team members, can do it. But for now, it's you. Now, there's three major tools that we use in our development and onboarding process. All right? Now, when we say development and onboarding, we have to remember that there are a couple different components. We need to teach the skills, which is what a lot of this does. And we need to nurture and cultivate the psychology, the mindset, the philosophy, the culture. We need to indoctrinate them into our culture. And what that means is we want to find people that already fit, but then we need to make sure that we pull those traits out of them and we communicate about it consistently, right? But in terms of teaching the skills, and you do that through conversation on a daily basis. There's no way to fake it. There's no shortcuts. You need to, you can create daily content if you have a big enough of a team, but for now, face-to-face, talking to them, coaching them, helping them to see things through your eyes, okay? But in terms of teaching the skills, there's three major things. One, shadowing. They need to see you do it in action so they know what to emulate, and then you need to see them do it in action and so that you know what's correct, right? And to bring it closer to how it's supposed to be done. Next part is role-playing. Right? So if they have a customer service issue or they don't know how to deal with certain situations, them seeing you do it is only going to go so far. Them practicing how to do it, verbally saying it in front of you, is going to have a great deal of impact. And if they can do it in front of you, it's going to be a lot easier for them to do it with the client, because the client doesn't know exactly what they're supposed to say. You're the one that's giving them the script to use, so to speak. Right? All right, so role-playing is extremely important. And then the last part is, I neglected to mention the fact that if you do not have documented processes yet, you do not have a company, okay? You have a job. You cannot have a company to where you have other people working for you until you start to document the processes. All right, but once you document these things, now you have a little bit of time leverage. You can be doing other things while you have your new hire, watching the video, reading the document, what have you, listening to the audio, whatever. So now, again, you can focus on selling or whatever, training, being with your family, and they can still be learning. Okay, you can't just use one of these. You really can't. You need to use all three. All right, so that's the onboarding process. So now we got somebody, we brought them on. It's the right candidate in our mind. We've taught them how to do what we do. First of all, how do we make sure that we get them up to that bar in terms of delivering the way we want them to deliver? And then how do we keep them there? How do we make sure that they continue to do very well, make good money, enjoy themselves, take care of the clients, so on and so forth? All right. Well, that's the next step, which is day-to-day management.